Hi everyone, I recently finished Frankenstein, the original 1818 text by Mary Shelley, and absolutely loved it. This book was highly entertaining, suspenseful, and approachable, while also offering quite a fascinating look into human psychology. It even left open the window that Dr. Frankenstein's relationship with the monster may in fact be an allegory that can be interpreted multiple ways, similar to Captain Ahab's obsession with Moby Dick. I grew up quite familiar with the story of Frankenstein through various pop culture references, but never watched any of the movies. Beyond the premise of dealing with a giant quasi-human monster, I did understand the overarching theme of science going too far. The original book addresses even more issues, going so far as to paint the monster as a blank slate, who was certainly creepy, but not initially evil. I'll split the rest of the review looking at the general writing, Dr. Frankenstein, and the monster itself. I won't give away the ending or any more plot points than necessary to furnish my thoughts, but be prepared for some highly significant spoilers. I would encourage you to enjoy reading the book for yourself before continuing. The quality of the writing was absolutely incredible, and it was hard to believe someone wrote this while still in their teens. You have beautiful descriptions of nature, and the monster's own fascinating story of maturation, self-education, and his dreams of an idealistic future. The rest of the book is filled with Victor Frankenstein's dread, guilt, and paranoia. I especially enjoyed how the details of the monster's creation were not explicitly explained, beyond hinting at some vague medical practices from antiquity. While considered the world's first science fiction book, its references to medical technology were obscure enough to keep the story timeless. The main takeaway I got from Victor Frankenstein's story wasn't just a cautionary tale of abandoning God for science, but the dangers of obsession as well. It was quite stark how he completely threw himself at his task for years, nearly destroying his health in the process, only to immediately be revolted by the results of his experiment. The majority of the story narrates his torment from ruminating over every possible worst-case scenario, which was likely the corrupting influence which poisoned his creation and led to the ruin of not only Frankenstein himself, but also his entire family. On the monster himself, the story of him secretly observing a village family and becoming astonishingly articulate and literate was by far the most interesting part of the book. A point which I believe some others misinterpreted concerns his rejection by the family and subsequent embracement of hatred and revenge. I've often heard it argued that the family was frightened solely by his appearance. From how I understood the book, I'm inclined to believe that his initial rejection by his creator left such a powerful imprint upon him that his desperation and panic when interacting with the other humans was possibly more frightening to them than his disfigured appearance. Even today, it's still up to debate how our individual experiences are determined not by any objective qualities, but our own highly malleable interpretations. Definitely give Frankenstein a try if you're at all interested. Not only is it one of the most famous pieces of classic literature, but it's only about 200 pages. The writing is incredibly vivid, and the story is simultaneously approachable while also alluding to deeper questions. Does the monster simply represent the darker side of one's personality? What good is ambition if not directed to a good cause? Of the problems that we all face, how many of them are real or drastically warped by our own projections? Amazing book which I'll be reading again, be it a different edition or language. Alright, I hope you enjoyed my look at Frankenstein, the 1818 text by Mary Shelley, and I'll be back with another review soon. Bye.